What's up, fight fans? Thanks for coming back to another episode of Ski Mask Way Boxing. I'm your host, MikiBlik, coming to give you my thoughts about the results that took place on Saturday, February 22nd, Riyadh season, the last crescendo, which they should have renamed it Body Blow. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of body attacks within those fights that took place on Saturday, and I really enjoyed the competition that Turkey had put on with his promotions, Turkey Al-Ashiki out there in Saudi Arabia. Some of the things that I had predicted earlier in the week with my predictions on some of the fights. I didn't know a lot of information, and I looked at some of the fighters' last performances and didn't understand. Like, for instance, when I had predicted Martin Bacoli over Joseph Parker, which Joseph Parker got him out there in the second round with the top of the head shot knocked down, and then his corners came up on the ropes and called the fight off because Bacoli looked like he didn't have his legs up under him, which they said to me it looked like he could have continued. But at the same time, when I had made my predictions on Bacoli, I thought that he would have been in shape. Come to find out after watching some of his interviews that he wasn't even training. He was going and he was at the Congo visiting his father when he got the call to fight Joseph Parker in that main event. And I realized that Joseph had been in Riyadh for about close to 6 months, and definitely within the last 3 months training for Daniel Dubois, who Martin had replaced because of the illness that came upon Daniel Dubois. And Joseph Parker, was definitely in shape, fit, and everything. And Martin Bacoli went the day of the weigh-in. Plus, he had flown from the Congo. They said there was like a 24-hour flight or whatever, which was crazy. And he didn't get any rest and he sleep. And I'm not making no excuses for my predictions. I just, call it like it is and giving you the truth behind it. I didn't know that he wasn't training. I didn't know that. I thought that he was in the gym when I made my prediction. And like I said, from his last outing, um, I kind of like looked at that and thought that he would be in competition shape, which he usually comes in about 290. And he was weighed in on Saturday about 315 pounds, which lets me know he was out of shape. And as you could see within the fight, he was very heavy, very sluggish. I just hope that he gets an opportunity to redeem himself for that fight and everything. And the way that Joseph gave his interviews and everything, he knew that Martin was basically set up to fight him and everything because he didn't turn down what Turkey Al-Ashiki had offered him because he was getting a lot of money for it, and he felt obligated to Turkey to fight whoever it was that Turkey had called and asked him about. So, I just think that just on that result, I'm happy for Joseph Parker and everything. And like I said before, I thought he would have had a better chance of what he did to Bacoli to Daniel Dubois. Um, I picked him to lose against Bacoli, and like I said before, I didn't know Bacoli's weight and I didn't know his situation. But the Congolese fighter, man, he wasn't in fighting shape. He didn't have no training camp or anything like that. But like I said, make no excuses about that. I just think that he definitely should have thought it through and everything. But I guess when you get that money like that, when you get that opportunity, and I had made a video about him, receiving that opportunity and taking advantage of it. But like I said, I didn't know his mindset or where he was as far as in his training was concerned. You know what I'm saying? So that made a big difference in that fight, and it showed. And like I said, I just hope he get a chance to redeem himself and fight Joseph Parker again when he's in boxing ready competition shape. You know what I'm saying? But I had got that one wrong because, like I said, I just looked at him as his last competition of how he, his last outing. But also moving to the next one. definitely the Bivol and Arthur Beterbiev was a fantastic fight. I mean, like I said before, I had got that one right when I predicted that. I thought Bivol would box circles around Beterbiev, and I felt like Beterbiev would be on the hunt like he was. He didn't. I think he should have cut off the ring a little bit more, but it was an absolutely exciting fight. It was action packed the whole time where Arthur was pressuring uh, Bivol the whole time, you know. But like I said, Bivol was boxing around him, but he definitely it was, to me, in my eyes, up to around 10. It was close to a draw, um, but Bivol kind of edged him out the last 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But it was really entertaining fight, and I told y'all on that prediction, I said that him and Beterbiev, Bivol and Beterbiev would be a trilogy fight because now they're both 1-1, and I think that Bivol will win if they fight again. Like I said, I believe Bivol won the first time that they came out and fought and everything, but I think that Bivol will win again in the last fight, the trilogy fight, if Arthur Beterbiev accepted or if he pushed for it, because they said that I saw the video of him. He said he didn't even want to fight Bivol for a second fight. You know, after he won the first fight, which was a controversial win to me. I think that Bivol had won that fight, but Beterbiev took the second fight to give him another opportunity, and Bivol became the undisputed light heavyweight. So I just think that if they fight for a third time, the trilogy, I think that Bivol will win again. I don't think that Beterbiev, um, his boxing skills are up to where Bivol is. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Beterbiev needs to cut off the ring a little bit better, but his defense needs to be cleared up. I think he took too many shots without covering up to where he could block a lot of the punches Bivol was throwing at him. I think Bivol, like I said, his quickness, everybody saw his quickness. He was very quick and quicker than what he was in the first fight that they had. And he ended up claiming the status of the undisputed lightweight heavyweight champion, man. And I think that he did a fantastic job. I think that if him and Benavidez fight, like I had already predicted, I think that he could beat Benavidez by staying away and using his boxing skills, because I believe that Benavidez is flat-footed. He doesn't have any footwork. I just think that Benavidez is a pressure fighter. It's like the similar as Arthur Beterbiev, but at the same time, he doesn't have the power as Arthur Beterbiev. So I don't think that Bivol would be compromised as far as his boxing skills to Benavidez's power. Like if he had the power of the Arthur Beterbiev, I think Benavidez would have been a more tougher fight to Bivol than, because I think Benavidez can move and cut off the ring better than Arthur Beterbiev. You know, I think he has more skill than Arthur Beterbiev, but at the same time, I predicted if Arthur Beterbiev and Benavidez fought, I think Arthur Beterbiev would knock Benavidez out. It's all of these B's and everything, right? I think that Arthur Beterbiev would knock Benavidez out, and I think that because their styles similar. I mean, they would clash to where they both are aggressive and come forward fighters, and I think that it will be an exchange that Arthur Beterbiev would get David Benavidez. But hopefully we can get a trilogy for that fight. But if not, if Arthur Beterbiev, I mean Demetrius Bivol fights Benavidez, I'm picking Bivol to win that fight. I think that he'll box circles around Benavidez because, like I told people before, I think he's more of a honed-in fighter to where he has the skills and the abilities and the footwork, and just his boxing skill overall is better than Benavidez. And I think that he won't gas out. I think that his stamina is up on par, like I was saying about Caleb Plant. I think that Caleb Plant could have beat Benavidez if he had the stamina and the confidence more than what Breadman Edwards showed in the pre-fight talk that they had. Remember the pre-fight conference that they had or whatever. But I had explained a lot of that, and yeah, but that was a fantastic fight. Like I said, it was very entertaining and everything. So I appreciate them guys, giving all of that they had and everything. And like I said, Joseph Parker knocked out um, Martin Bacall and Shakur Stevens, which I call Forrest Gump. um, he fought an electrician, a working electrician that boxed part time. A lot of people don't understand that. He should have got the guy out real early if he's the so-called killer, like he always explained. But he did fantastic in my eyes. He really showed his boxing skills, but he didn't have the guy that he was fighting IQ level was really as average at best. You know what I'm saying? So, he was supposed to do what he did. I didn't think differently when I heard about at the after Padley was confirmed as being the replacement for Kid Austin. I realized when they started talking about he was a working electrician and he was on the couch when he received the 2-day call to come in and to fight Shakur. I said, oh yeah, Shakur beat him, but to me, he took him 9 rounds. He took him 9 rounds, and the guy really didn't let his hands go like he should have. But Shakur, I was rooting for Shakur because he's an American and everything like that. But everybody know I don't like Shakur, um, which doesn't matter anyway. He's doing his thing or whatever. But I just even after the fight, he was interviewed and he talked trash about Tank because Tank had tweeted or on X, he tweeted LOL, laugh out loud because Tank would have got that dude up out of there within 3 rounds. Easy work. It would have been easy work, but and then not only that, the electrician had some moments in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Giving Shakur more than what he bargained for, but Shakur got him up out of there and everything. He ain't really run, and it wasn't my uh remember, because I had said that I believe that Shakur gonna get knocked out by a no name, so that wasn't the guy to do it. But I believe that Shakur is gonna take another fight with a plumber, maybe a science teacher, because he don't really want no real competition and everything. He just want to talk about how everybody's avoiding him, and he's the boogeyman of the division, which is crazy to say when he has no power. So it's nothing to be afraid of if you're a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Um, as opposed to fighting somebody like a Javante, you know what I'm saying? Or even a Ryan Garcia that got that vicious left hook. Um, People, I guess, I don't know, but these fans are crazy with it. That they love Shakur and everything. But I wish he would stop talking. I hope that Keyshawn will fight him. But like I said, I hope Shakur will fight somebody like a Andy Cruz, somebody in a division, because I think he has the WBC belt, right? And I think that Andy Cruz in the WBC is ranked like number 8. Because I remember watching it, looking at it the night of the fight. I was looking at the rankings and everything, and I think in Keyshawn's division, I think Keyshawn got the WBO belt, and I think Andy Cruz is ranked like number 15 or something like that. But I think that Keyshawn should give Andy Cruz an opportunity to fight him, and Shakur as well, if Andy Cruz calls out Shakur or anybody in that division, because like I said, Joshua Padley and everything, the way that it's set up, to me it was like it was a setup, you know what I mean? Like for Shakur to do fight somebody that was a no name. And I think, allegedly with the illness that Kid Austin took, it just seemed like everything was set up for Shakur to do that because he wasn't gonna fight somebody that was named. Why didn't Turkey call one of the top guys in the division to fight Shakur? You know what I'm saying? Instead of calling an electrician, a guy that, is a part-time fighter, you know what I mean, to make Shakur look good and everything. And then not only that, Eddie Hearn had already busted Shakur's his killer toughness by saying that when he signed the 3-fight deal with Matchroom, that Javante Davis was not a part of it. He said he was instructed by Shakur's team. So that let me know right there, Shakur, he just fake. I just don't like the fakeness. Just be real. You know what I mean? Just be real. And you ain't got to be saying people are ducking you and everything when you had the opportunity to fight them. I'll never stop saying that because, like I said, Terrence Crawford gave the blueprint, when he fought Spence and defeated Spence. He left him top rank and started his own thing and, got up under that, what is it, when he fought David Avenesian. Um, what's that? But anyway, he beat David Avenesian, came back to the table, fought Earl Spence, and won that fight. So I just don't like the fact that Shakur lied and everything, and he's gonna get his in the end. Trust me, trust me. But also the Carlos. I mean, and another thing, I think that the Rider seasons judges, because one judge had the scorecard on the one that I'm about to talk about, Carlos Adime against Shiraz. He had it like it was like 119 to 110. I'm like, man, what is he watching? And the referees they were horrible to me. They were horrible. I mean, the event was good, but the refs, like when but let me talk about the Carlos Adime. I think he got robbed. I really think that Carlos edged that fight out, majority decision in my eyes. I think the guy I heard after the fight, he I think he Hamad Shiraz, I think he broke his hand, they were saying. I'm not sure if he really broke his hand, but they were saying that's why he wasn't throwing his jab like he was in the beginning of the fight. Adime was hunting the whole time, it looked like. Shiraz is long. He was long and tall, you know what I mean? He had a good jab, but he wasn't using it after maybe the fourth or fifth round. And they had said after the fight that he had broke his hand or whatever, and that's why he stopped using his jab. But I don't know. I think Carlos Adime had pulled it out, if you ask me. I think that they robbed him on that. And just listening to the commentators in that fight, they were just all on Shiraz. They just wanted Shiraz to win. And it's like crazy how they were talking. You know what I'm saying? And Carlos Adime is the one who was holding, he kept his belt or whatever because they called it a draw. But it was just sad the way that they were so biased in the way that they had commentated that fight. And, to me, I think Carlos Adime definitely, even though he retained his WBC middleweight title or whatever, I think that he won that fight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was like maybe 7-5. I scored it. I think I scored it on that. But the fight to me of the night, besides Caleb Smith, against Batista, that was a good fight. Caleb went to the body, and I thought that was his last hurrah because I had stated that Caleb was in his last hurrah because he fought a lot of great fighters. Caleb got a good record too, and he lost against Canelo when Canelo busted his bicep up, and I just think that Caleb showed his toughness. You know what I'm saying? And I think his record's like 30-2 with 22 knockouts. Man, he really showed me that wasn't his last hurrah. It looked like he got about 5 or 6 more fights up in him. You know what I'm saying? So I should see him more in the future or whatever, because he went to the body of Batista. Joshua Batista, he took him to school. And I was really surprised at the way that he fought that fight, man. He was fundamentally sound. That was a really good fight, so I believe that he's going to get more opportunities and everything like that. Because I think he won the WBO interim belt in that fight. Yeah. And so, he's next up to fight. So I don't know. I just like his skill level on that fight and the way that he put that work in the body. You know what I'm saying? But to me, the fight of the night was that Madrimov and Virgil Ortiz. Virgil was really big. I thought if the Virgil fight, if Madrimov would have continued from his first round all the way up to 3 rounds, man, he was untouchable. He was very elusive. He was giving Virgil so many different looks, and he was pot shotting him. He looked like he could have cruised to a victory if he stayed on his bike and continued to do what he did from round 1 to round 3, but he didn't. Virgil kind of like started cutting off the ring a little bit better. He was jive chasing him because Virgil was very, very frustrated in the first 3 rounds, and you could see it on his face. And Madrimov, got his face red quick. He was catching him with jabs. He was hitting him to the body. He was catching him with hooks. He was really exploiting Virgil, but Virgil was, man, his size was definitely more than what I expected. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Virgil was he was definitely he looked like a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? He definitely he didn't look like a welterweight that night because he made Madrimov looked kind of small, you know what I mean? But he cut off the ring eventually, kept pressing Madrimov and everything. He hurt Madrimov in the middle of probably the 8th and 9th round. Madrimov hurt him too because when he was invested in that body, it slowed Madrimov down. He wasn't on his bicycle as much, and he was standing right in front of Virgil to be hit, you know what I mean? And Virgil took advantage of it. He showed his power, and he hurt Madrimov a couple times, but I think Madrimov hurt him a couple times as well. And I think Virgil broke Madrimov's nose, and Madrimov busted up he busted up Virgil's face. I think he was bleeding at the end of the fight from a headshot or something. But in that fight, the ref made me upset, man, because he kept on giving Madrimov time after time. It didn't take the point away from him headbutting and using his forearm, and it was just a bad ref job. You know what I mean? And then I think on the scorecards too, it was bad on that one as well. But it was closer to me than what. Because I don't know if did he win a unanimous or a split decision. It should have been a split decision if you ask me, because it was an ebb and flow in that fight. It was up and down. I think Madrimov won the first 4 rounds or whatever, and then Virgil kind of got the second half and a couple of little rounds in the middle. But Madrimov, if he would have stayed on his bike, in my eyes, he would have won that fight easily, because he frustrated Virgil. And he didn't allow Virgil really to get going until Virgil started investing in that his body. You know what I mean? And he slowed him down, and he really won the fight through his body shots and everything. But I was proud because Virgil is he's from the USA and everything. Because I wanted all the USA people to win. So I was happy for him, and I like to see him fight possibly Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? Even though Terrence got a thing set up with Canelo in September, I think that him and Virgil will be a fantastic fight, because I think Virgil pressure style, I would like to see how Crawford would react, because Canelo don't have that type of style. Canelo more of a boxer, puncher, you know what I mean? Virgil is a pressure, stalker type fighter, you know what I mean? He gets hurt every now and then, but he got enough power to keep you off of him and keep everything sound within what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? Rip shots to the body and uppercuts and everything. Because Virgil trying to get you out of there. I like his style. He don't play boxing. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get you up out of there. So I like to see him and Terrence possibly fight in the future, but I doubt it. I doubt if that will be a fight, because they had talked about that when Virgil was at 147 and Terrence was there too. And I don't know if they'll fight. I think this will be Terrence's last fight because of his age and everything like that. But if they offer him enough money to fight Virgil, Terrence might take that fight. But moving along, the next after Virgil and Madrimov, Zhang, the big Chinese guy, you could tell he didn't do no cardio. Zhang came off the couch. He looked like, I had predicted him to win by stoppage, but he got stopped by the body shots. You know what I'm saying? Cabal was working his body early. It was kind of close in there in the middle when Zhang had knocked him down, hit him with a straight right hand, knocked him down, and then Zhang ran out of gas. But I think that Cabal just showed his toughness and Ajit, man. He's a tough heavyweight, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's gonna just with his stamina and the things that he trained, he put a lot of work into Zhang's body, man. And Zhang, I think after he knocked him out with the body shots, Zhang sat on his stool for like a half hour, man. He gonna be pissing blood this week. I guarantee you, because Cabal was invested in that body the whole fight. And he slowed him down, man. He neutralized his power, man. So I just think that Zhang needs to work on his cardio. He needs to work on his cardio and work on his abdominals, his midsections. You know what I'm saying? And his obliques, because he definitely showed that he that's the way to beat him. Body shots. You know what I'm saying? And I got that one wrong as well. Zhang, he just, I guess he relied on his power. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that, he didn't train as well because his fight showed it. You know what I mean? You can't lie when you get in there in boxing. When you get in the square circle on the night of the fight, everything you did up until there was going to show. It's going to show. If you ain't run your miles, if you ain't do your sit-ups, your neck, you ain't do none of the stuff, the fundamentals to win you the fight, it's going to show the night of the fight, and it did with him. Like I said, that really wrapped up everything because who else? I said Callum Smith and everything. I was really proud of him. I talked to Martin Bacole. But it was a really good card, and like I said, I just think that there's a lot, man. Boxing got too much corruption in it, no matter where you go. Because I think Turkey, he put on a good card and everything, but it was just that the judges, they're 190, 119 to 110 in the Adime fight. That was crazy. I'm like, what are you looking at? And then there was another judge in one of the scorecards that was outlandish, and then like I said, the refs, it's just like, I don't know, maybe it's just a Europe thing. The European referees, they don't ref, like the West. You know what I'm saying? It's just because the West refs, man, they'll give you a point off quick. If they warn you and you keep doing the same thing that they warned you about, they'll take a point quick. And it just seemed like, Madrimov was given time after time after time after time after time, and he never got a point taken and kept doing the same thing. But that's all really I got, fight fans. I just think that Shakur needs to stop talking trash. I really do. He gonna get his though, cause he talked too much trash, and he continued to talk trash like he the boogeyman of the division, which is crazy to me because he Shakur's really not like that, man. He's not like that. If you look at his resume, he ain't fought nobody, and the people that he fought that was so-called somebody, like I said, De Los Santos, really nobody knew him until he beat Venezuela Rayo. When he beat Rayo, because Rayo had a big following, he was one of the up and coming prospects. He was a prospect basically when he fought De Los Santos, and De Los Santos knocked him out, and Rayo knocked De Los Santos down in that same fight. So and then Shakur ran the whole fight. It wasn't even a fight. So I just think that he needs to chill with all of that talk because ain't nobody scared of no Shakur. Ain't nobody scared of him. He ain't what everybody think he is. Everybody, just because he hang with the killers, and Terrence and Andre Ward and even Keyshawn Davis, is more of a killer than Shakur, and I hope they fight. But that's all I got, fight fans. I just wanted to come back and tell you that I was wrong on a couple of fights, and I take responsibility for that. But like I said, I didn't get all the information to which I got now after the fight was made between McCauley and I thought Caleb Smith. I didn't know he was. I think Caleb got Callum. I think his name Callum Smith, right? Yeah, Callum Smith. I think he got a good, because he's a little bit up in age. I think he's like 30 something years old. But he's doing something right. He's eating right. He's training right. Because he looked good to me. He looked good. He looked like he got about 5-6 more fights up in him. You know what I'm saying? So salute to him, and I just hope that he gets a world title shot or whatever, because he is the interim WBO champion now. Um, but that's all I really got, man. I like the card that Turkey put on, and I like the people that he is putting against each other, and I hope that he continues to put on great cards and everything. But I think that he needs to find some new refs, find some judges. I think, see, because me personally, I think that all judges in boxing should be ex-fighters. I think that the ex-fighters know what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Sort of like when you got the dunk contest in the NBA, it was ex-dunkers that won or either competed in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that the judges that they have know what they're looking at actually with these the numbers that they're giving. You know what I'm saying? But the card, like I said, itself was amazing. But I just believe in the future they should just get people that's been in boxing that understands what they're looking at. And I also think that we'll see some more because Turkey's about putting the best against the best, and he's willing to give them money. So that's a good thing in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like what he's doing, but I like it because, I like anybody that's getting money for what they love and what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? The fruits of their labor is being seen by other people, and they're being able to have the opportunity to gain income and financial stability. So that's all I got. Basically, I'll be coming out with a new video about March 1st when Gervonta Tank Davis against Lamont Roach when they fight. I've been watching a couple of things with the new things that they have on there with these season, like 24/7, which Floyd had. They're doing the same thing for these up and coming fights with like Gervonta and Lamont, which is looking good and everything. Um, I'll give y'all my prediction on that closer to the fight. For now, my prediction goes as Gervonta, stopping Roach maybe in the 8th or 9th round. I think he's going to wobble him a couple times throughout the fight in the early stages, maybe from 3 to 5 or 6. He's going to wobble him and get him hurt. Um, Roach might survive, because I think he might do it at the end of the rounds. You know what I'm saying? These are my predictions or whatever. But I think he's going to really stop him in like the 8th or 9th round, like totally stop him, TKO type stoppage. And he might just knock him out completely. He might, sit him down on the stool. He might don't come out, but Roach got so much pride, and I think that he'll die on the shield. You know what I mean? He'll die in the ring. That's the type of fighter Roach is. Great little fighter. Um, but I just think that Gervonta be too much for him. I think Gervonta strength and his power is gonna be too much for Roach. Um, but like I said, Roach is very skillful. A lot of people ain't giving him the credit because a lot of people don't know him. But if you've been in boxing, you know Roach got a lot of skill and abilities and everything. And a lot of light has been shined on Roach from him fighting Tank. A lot of people have been watching his fights and everything like that. His old fights is what I'm saying. But we'll see. We'll see. And I'll give y'all my take on that up and coming event on March 1st. This year, the next month or whatever. Matter of fact, in another a week and a half, right? So we'll see about that next week. Yeah, it's next week, right? Yeah, it's next week. We'll see about that. And I just believe Gervonta is the face of boxing in my eyes. I believe that he's a showman. He has everything that it takes to take over boxing. The power. Every time you go to his events, they're sold out. He's very entertaining. He gives people what they want to see, which is knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen, I believe, on March 1st. But I believe it's going to be a good fight for the first 7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But I believe Gervonta is going to show y'all his skill level because he's fighting a skillful fighter in Roach. But I'll give y'all more of my take on it later because I've been on here for like 35 minutes and everything. I don't want, because I know people's attention span and everything, but I think I've been giving a lot of good analysis on the X fight, the fights that just happened this past weekend and everything. But y'all take care, man, and continue to follow us on Ski Mask Way Boxing. Like, share, subscribe, and also give me your take on what you think this weekend's matches, the results and everything in the comments below, and let me know if you think um, whoever won should have lost, and whoever lost should have won, and vice versa, and all of that. And y'all take care, and never forget, Jesus loves you. Amen. Amen. Take care, fight fan.